Hey guys, welcome to podcast 20. Today I'm gonna be answering some fan questions and some random questions on the internet that I've asked of people and family and friends on my Instagram. So without further ado, today we're gonna do probably just half an hour podcast, not go too long, probably not too short either. So we're just gonna answer some questions. I'm excited. Uh, I just seen these ones, haven't prepared for them at all. So let's see what these questions are. First, how do you think things will go down this summer? How do I think things will go down this summer? Well, hopefully everything will be resolved. Hopefully everything will be back to normal. Well, not back to normal. I'm just saying, just a little bit more normalized. Hopefully, this thing goes down, and hopefully we can all go out and have fun, hang out with friends again, uh, go out without worrying that I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, and I just want to go out and just maybe just for a little bit, go have fun, go for a walk, go to the park, go to an amusement park, go to the movie. Well, the big one is go to the movies. I haven't been able to go to the movies. They shut down everything. So hopefully, if by the summer we can go to the movies and all that stuff, because that's where I'm really wanting to go. They've shut down a lot. They postponed a lot of movies. So hopefully by the time summer comes around, we can watch all those movies back to back to back. Because I have a lot of free tickets, so I need to go see all these movies, and I've been able to use my movies, my free movie tickets, not my movie, free movie tickets. Let's see. Next question. What is the theme of your podcast? So my podcast theme is, I don't really have a theme. I'm just trying to go on interesting topics, have interesting conversations with people. As of right now, I can't have any guests because everybody's quarantined. So as of right now, there's no guests. So I'm just trying to go off interesting topics, interesting stuff to talk about. Because there's not really a theme. Because if I put a theme, then and I don't have that just puts me in a corner. And because I already have a theme, two other YouTube channels that are themed. So everything food with friends is just a food channel. That's all that is just food channel. Comic talk is uh, comic books, movies, and pop culture. So that's a theme for that YouTube channel. And then the everything food with friends is a food channel. So those are themed stuff. I wanted this one to be more free, more I could just have anybody on and talk about different stuff. Just having a conversation with somebody. Doing it, if I do a solo podcast, I don't have to pin myself on a recorder, just talk about movies or food or whatever. Or do something like this where I'm answering people's questions from my Instagram. Or so it could be silly questions, it could be thought provoking questions, deep questions, uh, run of the mill questions. So that's my theme. There is no theme to mine. It's just interesting topics and interesting uh, people on my podcast. I already had two people on there. Link will be in the description for those, but and my other YouTube channels that I have. So those are theme. I didn't want to have to paint myself in a corner to for this podcast because I know a lot of podcasts are just a theme podcast, and those are great. Those are fine. I don't want to discourage those podcasts or anything or diss a podcast. I'm just saying for me, perfectly, can't even speak today. I didn't want to paint myself into a corner. Like if I didn't really want to talk about this topic today, I could talk about another topic. So that's my reasoning for not having a theme in the podcast. So I hope that answers your question. Uh, yeah, there's no theme to the podcast. It's just interesting people, interesting topics. Next question. Will there be a podcast 30 or a podcast 06? Yeah, podcast 30. I don't know if there's going to be a podcast. Well, anything's possible, I guess, Maybe we could, if I start one with my friends, we do a podcast 30. Or, so like you and my friends, podcast 06. If you guys remember, '06 was a crazy year, man. Crazy. It was. I don't even know how. It was just a crazy year. I don't even remember. I just remember '05 and then '07. This is how crazy it was. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you were there, you're there. If you weren't there, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And you're like, '06, what does have to do with anything? If you know, you know it's an inside thing. So, yeah, so the podcast 30, I don't know about podcast 30. Podcast 20 is working out for me just fine right now. Maybe in the future, if we do an upgraded version of this, podcast 30, podcast '06, well, maybe one with my friends, and we'll do a podcast 30, an ensemble podcast, if you will. But until then, podcast 20 is going to stick around for a while. Another question. What movies do you recommend to pass the time? Oof, that's a good question. What movies do I recommend to pass the time? Well, I don't know if your preference, so let's see. On top of my head, I would watch. Uh, if you have Netflix, that's I think most people have Netflix, so I'm just going off movies that I've seen on Netflix. If you have Disney Plus, some people don't have Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have Netflix is all I have right now, so this is what I'm basing off my movies off of to pass the time. These are free movies if you already have Netflix. The Dark Knight, great movie, one of the best superhero movies, if not one of the best movies. It made the top 100 movies of all, or top 100 movies of the century, or top movies of all time. If it's century, all time, it's still the same thing. So, The Dark Knight, really good. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger is the Joker, and then Christian Bale is Batman. Directed by Christopher Nolan. Really good movie. Highly recommend you watch that one if you haven't. If you haven't, if you live in under a rock, maybe just get off your rock and or you like pack your star. Go watch the movie. It's on Netflix. Very good. Um, let's see another movie. Batman Begins is also on Netflix. It's a predecessor to The Dark Knight. So Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Returns is not on Netflix for some reason. I don't know why. Why do you have the first two and not these and The Dark Knight Returns? Crazy. I have no idea. Another movie that's not is this is not on Netflix. Maybe you can buy it digitally or something. Is Abraham Lincoln the Vampire Slayer? Underrated movie in my opinion. Very underrated. Everybody who I've asked, I only got no one other person who's seen this movie, and it's a really good movie. It's about Abraham. It's in the time of when Abraham Lincoln was raising up, going, becoming president. It's about his life, and his mother was killed by a vampire. So naturally, he's gonna be like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then when he gets an adult, he's being trained by a vampire and to kill other vampires. And it's a very good movie, very underrated. I seen it on Rotten Tomatoes 36 for some reason. I don't know why, but like the audience score is like really higher. Everybody who in the comments of that said that is a really good movie, underrated movie. Uh it's not like a William Shakespeare or like, really grand movie. It's just entertaining. It's an entertaining movie. And to pass the time, I think you just want an entertaining movie. Sometimes we just need an entertaining movie. We don't need a grand movie. We don't need the best movie ever. I think sometimes we just need an entertaining movie, and this movie is it. Another entertaining movies are the John Wick series. If you haven't seen John Wick with Keanu Reeves, is literally uh, you can't really spoil the movie. It's well, you can, I guess, a little bit, but there's no really. It's basically about Keanu Reeves, or aka John Wick, in the movie. He is a badass. He's fighting everybody. He's just probably the most badass movies I've ever seen, and they are just entertaining movies. John Wick using gun fu. He's just using his gun and using his fighting techniques, and it is very entertaining. The fight scenes, the action, Keanu Reeves, they're all entertaining. Pick one. you can just watch one or all three. Doesn't matter to me. Those are entertaining movies, and I think in these times you just need entertaining movies, and these are gonna pass the time. You're gonna thank me if you haven't seen them. Be like, oh, I get it. Keanu Reeves is the best. I think this is what vamped up Keanu Reeves' career again after Matrix. He was like, people knew who he was, but he was like the bro-ish guy, and now this thing that made him like a god or whatever. He's phenomenal. Everybody knows who Keanu Reeves is now, and he is phenomenal in these movies. Let's see. Any Pixar movie? Pick one. Any Pixar movie, animated movie. These are really good. Any of them are really good. Probably Coco. I think Coco's. I don't know if because maybe they all moved to Disney Plus. I know Incredibles 2 is on Netflix still. I think Coco. I don't know if they took it off, but I think those movies on Netflix are really good. Coco's a tearjerker, not Incredibles 2. Entertaining movies. So I'm just giving you guys entertaining movies to watch. Alrighty. Let's see. On my Instagram, I asked people to ask me a question yesterday. And these are just some weird questions. How many times have you used hand sanitizer? How many times have you used hand sanitizer? Uh, Zero. They're all sold out. Where am I supposed to get hand sanitizers? People are selling hand sanitizer on the internet for like $1 million. I've been washing my hands like freaking a million times a day, but hand sanitizers none. It's all sold out. Go to the store, no hand sanitizer for me. But I've been washing my hands. Guys, wash your hands. Uh, let's see. What do you call a bird without wings? What do you call a bird without wings? Let me know in the comment section below. But I said the same thing you call a snake with legs. That's what a bird without wings is called. The same thing you call a snake with legs. Alrighty, let's see what else. What do you call a man who doesn't fart in public? What do you call a man who doesn't fart in public? Well, I said the same thing you call a person who wears white after Labor Day. You know, I'm just going with the quips and puns over here. I'm like, what do you call a man who doesn't fart in public? I don't know. What do you call a man who farts in public? Who doesn't fart in public? I don't know. Weirdo? Not a weirdo. Gentleman, polite, someone who doesn't wear white after Labor Day. I don't know. What do you call him? And someone said, she said, a private tutor. What in the world? What? What? A private tutor? Oh my god, this is crazy. The puns. What is going on? Why with the puns? The puns are crazy, man. A private tutor. Ha 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 ha. What? 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 Let's see. Why did you leave soccer? Oh, well, that's a long story. Why did I leave soccer? Yeah, I used to play soccer. Why did I leave? Well, let me tell you a story. So yeah, I've been playing soccer since I was 9 until 17, 18. But the thing is, some people lose the love for the game. I didn't really lose the love for the game, but it just the circumstances. So when I first started playing at 9, I was just playing to have fun. I didn't care if I won or lost. I knew I wasn't the best person on the team. I wasn't the worst person on the team either. But I was really just playing to have fun, and I was never really good at it. I was just okay. I tried out for teams. never really made it. But I won some championships as a kid, so I won some championships and all that stuff. And then the next team I won championships, and this team, this white team I played for, it was white jersey team, and because we didn't have really, we were just going based on colors. Oh, the green team, the blue team, because we didn't have, we were just getting all. It was like right when I was in eighth or ninth grade, and probably one of the best teams I've ever played for. Where if you win the championship, then you have to go play against other first place teams. So I play for my hometown in Fullerton. So then if you go if you win first place, then you have to go face other first place teams like in your Orange, Whittier. So all these other teams are who won first place now are gonna battle it out like within your area or whatever. So whoever wins first place within those first place, then it's then you win the championship and then you're the first place of the first place people. We didn't go that far. There was a game where we were playing a better team. We were good. We were winning. I think we went to the quarterfinals. We played this team and we we lost because our two best players. Like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, if we lose a play, if we lose the two best players, then we're not gonna be good. One of the players, he just came from playing basketball. This guy was athletic and all that stuff. He averaged on during the regular season when we were playing in our hometown. He would score at least 3 goals a game. 3 goals a game. That's why we were best. And then the guy in the defense, he was unstoppable as well. So these guys were the two best players on our team. So we get to the quarterfinals. Of course, one of our best players, he's coming in tired. He didn't even play for the full game. He was just tired, and then he got injured during the game. So we lost that. And then the other best player, he was in a wedding. He couldn't play in the game. So our morals were down. Two best players, and of course we did lose. And I think 2-0. We're out of the thing. Next season, we now we're just playing against different cities because not enough players are coming into the league. So this is when I was already in high school, like freshman in high school or whatever. And we were just playing against different cities. We got to second place. And so yeah, I just went from winning a championship, and then we're this team winning second place. And then I'm sorry, I'm just going rambling on, but I'm just giving you the reason why I left. This is just some circumstances. Then the next year, we were the only team in the city or whatever. Oh, there was like another team, and they were gonna give us tryouts, but then they just ended up splitting the two teams for the city. And in soccer, if you know, there has to be 11 players on the field. 11 players on the field, and then you get whoever's extra. Then you guys get subbed in, subbed out. We're playing professional time, 90 minutes. That's what professionals play. We're not getting conditioned enough by the coach. And even if no one really showed up to the game. It was always 8 players against 11, 8 or 7 players against 11, 8 players against 11. Of course, we would lose 8-9-0 every single game. We were good. I think we were a good team. The first game we had, everybody showed up to the game. We had 15 players on our team. First game, everybody showed up. We were really good. I was like, okay, we're really good. We're gonna do this. We tied the first game. Never won ever again. 8-0, 8-0, 8-0, 8-0, 8-0. Last place, of course. Next season, same thing happens. 8-0, 8-0, 8-0, 8-0, 8-0, because no one really showed up to the games. And, you have to really, it's like they're subbing up everybody else is subbing their players in. We're just going tired. Professional time, 90 minutes going nonstop, basically just one halftime. There's no quarters. Halftime, we're going 45 minutes and then another 45 minutes, and we were all dead, and the coach was not conditioning us. Last season I played, I believe I was in 11th grade, a junior in high school. I switched cities because our city didn't have no one was really playing soccer anymore in our city. So I went to another city, Jusa uh, club or whatever. It's a league or whatever in Anaheim or Yorba Linda or whatever. Played for that team. I felt like the outsider. Everybody else, like at least when I was in my hometown, I would know some of these players. They went to my school, or I played with them before. This team, I didn't know anybody, and I felt like the odd man out. And again, no one else came to the games. The coach was not really good. We played against their youth team, so we would play against the worst team during practice and did not help us during the games. The coach wasn't really attentive. There was one game where I think he just gave up on the thing. He was playing on his iPad. He got hit in the ball. I laughed, and he still laughed too because he was playing on his iPad and he got hit in the face with the ball because he's not really coaching. He was just playing with his iPad during the game. So again, we're losing 8-0, 8, 8. I was like, alrighty, I'm done. This is no one's really playing soccer anymore. So that's why I left playing soccer. It's hot in here. Let's see if there are any other questions. If not, that'll be it for the game. Alrighty, let's see. What do you think about the show Hunters and more of Jordan Peele's films? Jordan Peele's films. I've only seen one of Jordan Peele's films. Uh, I think it was Get Out was the only one I've seen, but I've heard he's been doing a great job. All of his all of his other movies have done really well. Um, a surprise, a comedian who started from Mad TV. I don't know if he just started from there, but I think that's where everybody really knows him from. Before became this big director, and then he starred in other movies with Key and Peele and all that stuff. And Jordan, so comedy actor, and then he becomes like this big director. And I think he's doing a phenomenal job of all these movies that he's making. He knows how the horror genre works. Get Out was really good. It wasn't those one of those movies where it was just jump scares based off jump scares. It was suspense. Like, okay, what is he? It was like more realistic, scary movie. Those are the better movies that, in my opinion, because some of these movies are just like jump scares, and you could tell when the jump scares come on because the music goes silent, and then of course a few seconds later there's gonna be a big bang, like The Nun. It was just a bunch of jump scares. It wasn't a good movie. Some of these people in these horror movies, that's why a lot of people make fun of them. Like scary movies, scary movies. These people are making fun of the horror genre because it's so easy to make fun of. Because these people make the worst decisions in these people are making the worst decisions in horror movies. I don't get why no normal person would make these decisions. In The Nun, you could there was like a million jump scares, and we're not here for jump scares. We're here for a good story. We're here for suspense. And once you relieve the tension, then it's like, okay, this is a scary movie. This is a good story. This is a decision that a rational person would make, and it's still scary, and it's still like in the like in Get Out. From what from what I remember, it wasn't like, oh, if don't go in the closet, that saying, don't go in the closet. Oh, don't go in the closet. Don't go in the closet, because if he goes in the, like, no normal person can actually go in the closet. You're gonna run away. In this movie, he was setting up like, okay, so there was not enough things to go on to make him want to leave this place. And then once he wanted to leave, it was already too late. That's what a good story is, and that's what I think Jordan Peele is done in these movies. And uh, suspenseful, great story, great characters, great actors. So I think Jordan Peele is like one of the best horror directors going on right now. Let's see if there's any other questions. I guess those are. I guess those are the questions. So, yeah. So I'm gonna leave that on my Instagram. So for next week, I'm gonna do another podcast, answer the rest of those questions. Thank you for sticking by. I'm just doing this to entertain people. Just doing this to make people to give people something to watch in these times. I know there are a lot of people are like, oh, what should I watch? What should I what TV shows are good? What YouTube channels should I watch to pass the time? What podcasts? All that stuff. So I just wanted to make a 30-minute podcast today. Half an hour is like going 25 minutes right now, and just answer some questions, some silly questions, some deep questions, some questions about my life and all that stuff. So go follow me on, let's see, what is it? Just want to get this right. I believe it's podcast 20, or is it pod underscore cast 20? Pod underscore cast 20. Again, follow me on pod underscore cast 20. And just follow me there. A new video, if there's a new video, it's going to be in the bio, link in the bio. Go follow my other YouTube channels. There will be down in the description below. Comment down below. Did you like this type of video? Is there something else you want me to do on this podcast? Another topic you want me to talk about? A guest you want me to have on? So let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.